Hello, hello. How is everybody? Welcome to Free Impression Night. My name is Allie, and I am really excited to be here with you guys tonight. I have a few notes here that I don't want to forget to say anything because I have a lot to share with you all tonight. But before I go any further, I want to make sure, which I have a feeling that I am. I think I am. I want to make sure that I'm live in the right group because we have a lot of Facebook groups. Let's see. Bear with me for just a second. Okay. I don't know if I'll see comments. I have a little trick I like to do on my computer. Okay. Party, mega party. Yes. 2 days ago, I was live in the wrong group, and that is like, I don't know. That's like the dream when you go to like your worst nightmare and that recurring dream, that recurring nightmare that you have. For me, I go to the school, I get on the bus and I go to school in my pajamas. I don't know. I'm sure there's someone out there that actually knows what that means. But that's what going live in the wrong group is like when you're a Park Lane stylist. But anyway, let me introduce myself. Like I said, my name is Allie Santano, and I am the very, very, very lucky leader of this Bright Lights community that you, as one of our guests, have been invited to, personally and privately invited to this week. It is an honor that I get to be here tonight sharing a little bit about my personal story and maybe some of the stories of those of the stylists that you are connected with this week or connected with in Park Lane. Let me see here. Okay, I want to tag if I can. Well, it won't let me. Okay, I hope you can listen in. Okay. All right. Silly Facebook. Okay. So, tonight is going to be all about sharing a little bit about my personal story, but then maybe some of the stories of some of the stylists that you guys are connected to as well. I know, and actually put in the comments, give me like a heart emoji or actually give me all the hearts right now. Give me the hearts if you have enjoyed meeting some of the stylists this week in our mega party group. We have done something a little bit differently this time. Maybe you've been invited to one of our mega parties in the past. Maybe this is your first one and you're like, I don't know any different. But this week we have actually, what's today? Monday. This last few days, we had decided that we were going to actually have many of our team members come in and share like how they wear the jewelry and what they love about studs and how they do arm parties. I'm like totally like armored up today in honor of our arm party girls. I'm wearing some new studs today. I know Amy shared the Starburst earrings last night on the live, and y'all, these are new. Starburst in teal. It's the first time I've worn them. Oh my gosh, they pop. I literally put them on because this tiny color in my shirt right here. And I don't think I'm going to take them off ever. But we thought you would enjoy you would enjoy seeing how our jewelry fits every lifestyle, every type of woman and a few good men on our team in the last few days. So we're so happy, and we hope that you have enjoyed that, and give me some hearts if you have actually enjoyed that. So tonight, what we're going to be doing, this is called Free Impression Night. And maybe you've attended one of our Free Impression Nights in the past. But what we do on every Monday night is we have something called Free Impression Night. We have a different person come, and this week it is me, and I'm very honored and lucky to be able to be doing that tonight. Share a little bit about Park Lane. We share a little bit about our stories, and we share, of course, a little bit of the jewelry. And what I'm going to do is at the end of tonight, I am going to have a code word that I share. And I actually have, I have a link also that I will post. Should have lined somebody up to do the link. Okay. I'm going to do this right now. I see, Kimberly Newman. I see you here, okay? I just dawned on me I should have had somebody. I'm going to text Kimberly right now. Okay, Kimberly, I'm sending you this survey, okay? Please share at the end. Okay, boom, okay? Kimberly is in charge, y'all. She's the key master. So we have a survey that at the end of this, I'm going to have a code word, and I will share that code word. And I don't know what the code word is. It's kind of fun to be able to come up with the code as I'm going through tonight. And then we'll have you fill out a little survey, and having that code gets you entered for a beautiful impression bracelet of my choice. And it all kind of depends on how I'm feeling as to which color I end up sharing. So I know that you guys saw these with Amy last night. I'm positive that you've seen bracelets, you've seen earrings, you've seen arm parties, you've seen the impression necklace. I know Amy shared the orange impression necklace that she's going to be giving as a graduation gift. So this is our little impression obsession, which is why we like to have free impression night every single Monday night. So let me go ahead and get started. So let me just introduce myself, okay? My name, like I said, is Allie, but I'm Allie Santano. I live in the Dallas, Texas area. I have been with Park Lane for, I'm Texan, y'all, okay, for 7 years. I think 2 weeks ago I said 6, and then I realized, oh my goodness, it's 7. 7 years I've been with Park Lane. I actually had another jewelry business with another jewelry direct sales company prior to partnering with Park Lane for 10 years. So yes, that means it's been 17 years that I have actually had this jewelry business from home. And it's amazing. I never ever dreamed that I would actually be a business owner, for one, and then two, be self-employed for 17 years in the same business. I mean, that's crazy when I get super proud actually whenever I say that. But 17 years ago, I actually joined on a whim. I was pregnant with my now 16-year-old daughter. She's at dance practice right now. She drives herself, which is amazing. Anyway, give me some hearts for those that have new drivers, okay? We all need like a group sesh together, group therapy sesh together. But I was pregnant with her, and I was working full-time in pharmaceutical sales, and I was very, very pregnant, and I was not looking for something extra. I had a full-time job. I was 30 years old, and when I look back, I was like, oh my God, I started a business at 30. That's crazy. And I just didn't feel well. It was a healthy pregnancy. I just didn't feel well every single day. I did not feel well. Okay. Maybe that has something to do with why I only have one. No, there's other reasons for that, but I didn't feel well. Okay. And so when my two older sisters decided to do something like this, I was like, wait, I'm the baby. I was like, wait, what are y'all doing? And one of my sisters said, you should do it too. You should do it with us. It's all about the accessories when you're pregnant. Boom. An hour later, I was like, I'm in. I didn't know what that meant. I definitely wasn't like, I'm starting a business. I was like, it is $129 and you get $500 in free jewelry, and there was an extra $100. Okay. That was October 30th or 31st. It was Halloween. I think that's the 31st, right? 31st. Halloween. Really quickly signed up before I went trick-or-treating. I was pregnant with my one and only, so I was doing it with my nephews and my nieces. That's how much time I thought about it. That's literally the amount of time that I put into analyzing and studying and deciding whether or not this would be good in my life. It was not good in my life. It was not the right time. I didn't even have time. I didn't have energy to do anything. But what I have found is such a common theme, and what I did not know that I had found back then, that would be such a common theme in my life over 17 years. And so many team members on our team, which we call the Bright Lights. Our mission on our team is to be a light in the world. My mission in this business is to help, well, first of all, be a light in the world, but then also help women and a few good men help them realize that they are a lot better than they thought they were, that they are capable of achieving way more than they thought they would. In like layman's terms, and when my East Texas side comes out, I like to say, you are, that you kind of blow your own, mind, blow your own damn mind every now and then. Okay. So I have a little East Texas in me since I'm in Dallas. Okay. And so that is what I did not realize that I would find at that moment. I actually was capable of starting a business. The other thing I did not realize that at that time is that I needed a little bit of light. I needed sparkle. I was pregnant, like I said, healthy pregnancy, but man, I didn't feel well. for 9 full months. Okay. I did not feel well. And I know many of you know how that feels. And I needed a sparkle. It was like a glimmering light over here. It was like a bright and shiny, let's call it a squirrel. Okay. Took my mind off of what felt hard was a blessing, and it was amazing. Because I'd say that because I know many people have difficult pregnancies. Mine wasn't difficult. I just felt sick every single day. Okay. That was difficult, but it was healthy. But I needed something to take my mind off of it. Those two things I did not realize would be such a theme for the next 17 years. And it would change the way I parented. And it would change the way that I would share this with people. And it would change and multiply into a lot of our leaders on our team and our stylists on our team. We have such a theme of, first of all, there's no jewelry emergency. But 2, we are capable of achieving so much more than we ever thought that we would be. Period, paragraph, as my mother and her best friend say. Okay. And so it has been a glimmer during different parts of my life over the last 17 years. There was a period of time where my husband was going through cancer treatment, and he's amazing and traveling on business right now. So he's here and well and healthy. But at that time, this business was like the happy, controllable thing in my life. And it was like my escape. Okay. I couldn't fix him, but I sure could fix my business. I sure could sell some jewelry. And I had this amazing group of women who were like all about lifting others up, and we all working towards a common goal together. It also is playing a role right now. My mother is actually going through ovarian cancer treatment. That's actually where I was there last night and today. We had a pre-op appointment for her. She has a surgery a week from today. And this business is like, I need it so much because it is a source of light and it is a source of energy and positivity. And so I never, ever, ever, ever in a million years thought saying yes real quickly on Halloween, because I found out it was $129 and you got not just $500 in free jewelry, but $600, which is what our special is right now. I didn't know that would actually end up, changing, giving me freedom, giving me a career, the freedom to work from home, the freedom to not have to check in, to take off work in order to be home with one time 18-month-old. The first time she was sick with the stomach flu, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have to take off work. I don't have to tell someone. I was so grateful to have something like this where all I had to do was go sell the jewelry. All I had to do was share it with people. I didn't have to make it. I didn't have to build a website. I didn't even have to make graphics because our team does that. It was the simplest and easiest way to start a business. And I just had no idea that it would make such an impact. Now, my story has been replicated on so many people's lives on our team. We have team members who this has gotten them through fertility treatments. This have gotten them through divorces. This has gotten them, this community has been their like bright and shiny whenever their, son was being diagnosed as a diabetic and having to go through that, and the fear of that, the warmth and the love, it has gotten them through their own medical treatments. It has been a community of support and prayer for those that are we have team members going through it right now who we are rallying around them. My story has been replicated in so many different team members on this Bright Lights team that I just did not know that that's what I actually was saying yes to. So I share that not to impress you, but just to impress upon the fact that I think everyone would say amen in the comments 100 times after I say this. They just had no idea what was going to come of this whenever they decided to say, what the heck? Like it was the jewelry. It is not just jewelry essentially, but that's just my only personal story. Okay. That's only my personal story, but we're going to talk I'm going to share with you a little bit about Park Lane. And if you're joining a little bit late, welcome to Free Impression Night. I'm giving one away. Gonna have a code word at the end. You're gonna fill out a survey. That is how you get entered, okay? So let me tell you a little bit about just a little snap. Hold on, actually I have my notes here and I'm like, okay, hold on. I skipped forward, okay? So as you guys know, you're all here for jewelry. Let me share just a little bit about why Park Lane's jewelry is a little bit different, okay? First of all, we love jewelry because I love having jewelry, because when I put my business down with jewelry for 10 years and decided to partner with a new company, I could have gone and looked at all these different product categories. What I loved about jewelry was the fact that it, one, fit everybody, two, was easy to wear, three, it was kind of an impulse buy. Okay, it's a lot more impulsive when everything's half off or $35 instead of $200, right? But it also was an emotional purchase. It was a giftable item. There's sentiment attached to pieces. I loved that jewelry was something that people would pass down. I loved that they gave it and it had meaning. Like whenever you put this Dolly necklace on, if your friend gave it to you, every time you put the Dolly necklace on, you're like, oh my gosh, Sarah gave that to me. Okay. And so I loved all of those things about it. What's different about Park Lane's, because I had 2 jewelry companies now to compare. What is really unique about Park Lane is how broad of spectrum of design that it is. And if you have seen all of these mini lives that we have had this week, you are seeing every style type. And that is so fun. I heard Tabitha today talking about how she was like, I really like the simple pieces. Okay. She might not be wearing the Dolly and have 18 bracelets over here and 18 bracelets over here. She probably does. But she was talking about simple pieces in that moment. You have the simple person's jewelry. You have the gaudy, because I'm a Dallas girl. You have the statement jewelry. You have the boho, like the bohemian style. You have your super modern, elegant, simple jewelry person. You have your jewelry person that really just likes to wear, earth thing, natural things like wraps or leather wraps. They don't necessarily wear metals. You have your jewelry person that only wears metals. Does I don't do color. Park Lane has a whole breadth of that. And so that is what is really super unique. Also, the sale is really unique. Very, very different. Tell me a retailer where you can go in and choose what you want to shop at half off. I would love it if Free People did that. I would love it if Spanx, my favorite, did that. Heck, I'd love it if Amazon did that. I would love it if, I'm trying to think of all the little places. I have a little boutique here in Rockwall that I actually shop at. J10. I would love it if J10 said, okay, you get to choose 4 things that are half off. Go buy 2 little tiny bracelets for $25 and then you choose all the other higher price things at half off. That is really unique, and we do that. Park Lane does that because they want you to feel how generous they are. That's essentially one of the huge reasons why they do it. And they know that you're going to be gifting sometimes and you're going to treat yourself every now and then, right? So that's one of the big differences with Park Lane, how broad the collection is, the style, also the partnerships that they have with their vendors, y'all. The company is celebrating 70 years this year. The partnerships that they have with their vendors, the people that make the jewelry. Our design team is here, but the vendors, y'all, it's decades of partnerships. That also factors in to the quality that you get for the price that you're getting it for. That is meaningful, and that is actually super important for me to share because that is very rare that you have that, okay? Okay, so there are other things that are really different, but I want to share with you just a couple of things about how simple it is for us to sell jewelry. You've seen it all week long, but y'all, this is what we do. We essentially talk about the honor necklace and the mom necklace. The honor necklace, actually, you guys, these are the giveaways. These are 2 of the giveaways for the week, okay? So you can be, every time you comment on here, we have big commenting giveaway, you're getting entered. But the honor necklace, we turn it over and we show, You know, that also it's white on one side with the mother of pearl. We talk about the mom necklace and we show that it's sparkly on one side and it's not sparkly. Kind of if you're feeling sparkly, if you're not feeling sparkly. We're going to show with these cute little bracelet pillows that the dragon fruit bracelet is also one of our giveaways. But how cute is it when you add a couple of silver bracelets with it? I'm kind of like grab a set, add a bangle, boom, you're done. That's kind of usually my arm parties. I did all of this for y'all. I did all of this for you guys. No, honestly, on doctor's appointments days, because jewelry lifts you up, okay? I like, because I'm going to a lot of them with my mom, I actually like to dress up for her. And putting jewelry on just makes me feel cuter and more put together. So on doctor's appointments day, I did that when my husband went through cancer treatment, and I'm doing it because I thought I was so tired today. I was like, it's Monday. I'm just going to like throw some clothes on. I was like, nope. It matters. The jewelry makes me feel better at the doctor's appointment. So there is that emotional thing. There's the mental health aspect of jewelry as well. But anyway, this is kind of what we do. We show jewelry. So we show jewelry. People pick it out. They love it. Super simple to make decisions. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Park Lane and the things that they offer their stylists. Okay. I don't want to overlook a couple of things though, actually. And sorry, about the jewelry. First of all, our hostess plan. The fact that Park Lane is a party plan company, we meet, one of the biggest things I hear from people are, how do you meet your customers? Like, how do you get out of your friends and family? Okay, that's one of the biggest questions that I get when I'm talking to someone about whether or not this could be something for them. I'm like, here's what you do. You do a couple parties with 2 or 3 friends, okay? They invite their friends. At those parties, because they're being spoiled with hostess rewards, a hostess plan rewards your host for inviting her friends to come and shop. She is inviting her friends to come and shop. I guarantee you, I'm going to guarantee, I really probably can't guarantee just because I don't know how you really monetize that guarantee, but you go and do shows with 2 or 3 friends and they invite their friends, and then you're meeting, because it's online, you're meeting strangers like within the first 3 shows. And y'all give me a 1 in the comments if that was your experience, okay? And so that is this party plan company, this party plan hostess rewards program that Park Lane pays for. It's very, very different. They pay for it. It does not come out of your pocket, okay? Then that is very different. It does not come out of your pocket, and it is so lucrative. And so that is how we keep meeting new people, because of the hostess rewards program. And it's not going anywhere. All right. 70-year-old company. It is the reason that we meet new customers. The other thing that's really incredible about the jewelry is that guarantee. And I'm sure Amy talked about it, and the other ladies have talked about it too. The unconditional guarantee comes along with a company that's been in business for 70 years. It is solid, solid, solid. Okay. So let's talk about some of the perks that it offers the stylists though. Okay. Because there are some really different things that are factored into why people stay at Park Lane. So when I joined Park Lane 7 years ago, I went to my first convention. It was in person at that time. And I met these women that had been there. Okay. So my last name is Santano. And I went, and they do so much recognition. It's like everybody got to walk across the stage, and they still do it now virtually. Almost everybody's name gets flashed up there. Okay. But I go and I get in line, and I'm Santano, and the woman in front of me, her name is Rosanna Santana. And I'm like, well, that's fun. First of all, first time ever. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm Santana. You're Santana. She's probably like, oh, this crazy girl. I said, well, how long have you been here? I'm Allie. I'm new. I've been here like 3 months. And she was like, well, I've been here 30 years. I was like, oh my gosh. There are some really, really, really special things that keep Park Laners at Park Lane. And I've seen it many, many times. People have a Park Lane business and then they put it down because of life or whatever. And then they come back to Park Lane. Okay. And so I'm going to go through just a few of those things with you, because I think those are those are things that, having a perspective of being with 2 different companies, I feel like I can bring some perspective and value to you in case it is something that you've ever thought about doing and you've wondered if Park Lane is something that would be right for you. So it's really simple, y'all. We sell jewelry and we earn commission. That is what we do. okay? We sell jewelry and we earn commission. The baseline commission is between 30 and 50%. And the reason I say that is because at entry level, you come in earning a very high 30%. My perspective is that when I was at my previous business that I had to work up to 30%. And then I would go back down at the beginning of the month and work back up to 30% and then go back down at the beginning of the month. Park Lane starts you at 30%. And then you can actually promote up the career ladder. And each time you promote up the career ladder, you actually get a higher percentage on your own personal sales. Here's the second part of that I want to point out. You have that forever, okay? You promote up to get 35% and you become, that's our first career rank. And I'll talk about how you do that. But your first promotion, then you have that 35% from now until the end of time. You never go back down to 30. You have the 35%. It is really good mentally, okay? There's no demoting. There's no losing your career rank. And there's also no ever going back down to 30, okay? And so that was a really big difference on how we are paid personally, okay? On our own personal sales. On average, we earn anywhere from like probably $200 to $400 or $500 on our own parties. On average, some are lower, some are higher. Okay. And so we have many people that sell, and that is how they are earning. We also earn a lot of free jewelry credits with our sales too, which is how we can give away so much free jewelry. Okay. But another way that you can actually earn, okay, aside from your own personal sales, is by sharing this business with other people. So rewind 17 years ago, I was home on maternity leave and my friend Jill would come over on her lunch break. She also was in like medical device sales or something. So she was in her car all day. And anytime she was calling on her customers, whenever she was around my house, she'd come over and see the baby. Okay. She also wanted to see the jewelry. Okay. She was a fashion lover. She was my shopping buddy. Anytime I was at DSW and I needed like boots or shoes or heels or whatever, I was always texting it to Jill. Jill, which one? These or these? Okay. She was that friend. We were college buddies and had moved to the same city and we ended up being friends and we ended up in the same career. And she was just that girl for me. Okay. She loved the jewelry. And I was like, Jill, you're like better at this than I am. Cause she would come over and I'd be like, Jill, I like that necklace. I don't really know how to wear it. How would you wear that? She's like, oh, real simple with a gray t-shirt. Let me go to your closet and find one. And it would be like from the Gap outlet. And she would put it on and I would be like, oh my gosh. I was like, Jill, you're better at this than I do. Maybe you should do this with me. We did it together. That was giving her something. She actually had a second income on top of her corporate income at that point because she got to enjoy this. And there's not a lot of businesses out there that actually allow you to teach someone else how to do it really well. And then it also helps you. There's really not. There's other careers out there where you can train other people how to go do it. And then they can actually end up going and opening their separate business doing the same thing. And then some of your clients may leave and go to them. That's not how it is in this type of business. And so gifting this business to other people, having helping change their lives as well, whether it be for shoe shopping money or whether it be for Disney or whether it be to pay for fertility or whether it be to pay for, other life things, okay? Pay for swim lessons, gosh. What are all the things in fact, if you're a stylist, please put in the comments something that your Park Lane income has paid for, however big or small it is. I once had a team member that was like, I bought my husband a fly fishing rod of his dreams. It's like, I love that. Okay. I have not done that for my husband, but he has gotten TVs and he's been on lots of trips and we'll talk about that too. So anyway, there's another way to earn income and that is by sharing the opportunity with others and helping them get started in their businesses. You earn a percentage on their sales. As your team grows, you promote yourself and your commissions go up. Okay. So it's just a little education on the industry. So But there are also, what's really unique with Park Lane is that there are bonuses on top of that, okay? So I like to describe Park Lane. One time someone said something to me that, I think it was the CEO of Park Lane. It's a family run company and they're very, very family oriented. And he was explaining to me that he has always described Park Lane's compensation plan as they pay you twice or 3 times. I'm like, how does that work? Okay. So I get paid on my personal sales, okay? You have a team, you get paid overrides on your team, but then they have extra bonuses on top of that. You may have a monthly bonus on top of that, depending on what happens for the month. Park Lane also has a Mercedes car bonus program where starting at the first level of leadership, you actually can earn a cash bonus. You can go get a purse with it if you want to. If you're like, cars, I'm not a car person, okay? It's $500 a month. And it starts at the first level of leadership. However, you can also, if you want to go get a white Mercedes, you can also go get a white Mercedes and they will give you $700 a month. So mine paid for my brand new Volkswagen Atlas for a while. And then when it was time, because it was time, that's whenever I decided to go get the white Mercedes. So I'm on my first white Mercedes right now. I never thought that I would actually have an opinion of how cars drive, and it drives really nice and I love it. I think about it every time I drive it. I'm like, I've had this car for 3 years and it is still really nice car. But it's paid for by Park Lane monthly. It's amazing. And that starts at the very first level of leadership. After you sponsor one person, you can begin to earn eligibility on that. That is very different from other companies, okay? Park Lane also pays us on free product. All right, we have free product that we get. It's a lifetime free jewelry program, lifetime. So what I mean by lifetime is at many companies, which my previous company was this way, and I know a lot of companies are this way, they have what they call like a fast start or a quick start program, okay? Where you can earn a lot of free product, like say in the first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, something like that. But after that, they're like, you don't want any more free jewelry, do you? Or whatever the product is. Now, Park Lane's like, said no one ever. So they have something called the Rich Rewards Program. We earn every single month up to $1,200. I am telling you, y'all, I mean, look, I have jewelry that I get to give away every single day, every party, we give away, look, these are all earrings, actually. I stock up on giveaways for parties. I stock up on giveaways for team incentives. You know what? Who else likes to go in these bins? My daughter, to get presents for her friends, okay? And so it is lifetime free jewelry because they know that you will never, ever, 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 ever stop receiving joy by giving product away. I've heard people give it away like when they go through, like sometimes I'll go through the airport and, you know, I have to take jewelry off to go through the TSA, the security. And depending on how nice the person is to me, I'll just say, especially if they compliment me on it, I'm like, you know what, you can have it. They're like, wait, what? I'm like, you can have it. Because look, did you see that bin down there? So we get so much free jewelry and it's forever because we know gifting sparkly things just lifts people up. And so it is a big difference with Park Lane. And it also helps you keep your commissions in your pocket so that you're not always having to buy more product. Okay. Okay. So let's see. I think I've kind of gotten off track a little bit here. Okay. So the other thing that's really amazing about this industry, and when you have things built in, like you never lose your rank and you never go down in your commission and you never lose your team, these types of things, okay? You don't ever demote. There's nothing like that. Is that it is actually the true definition of flexibility. You might have remembered earlier I said that we have had stylists that have joined our team or maybe were in Park Lane 10, 15 years ago before I was here. And then they've come back to Park Lane. They've come back, they have rejoined, and they have come in at the same career level. Listen, this company is like, I say, a grace-filled company. They know life happens. They know people get sick. They know that we lose people, we make people, and people get sick, and we start new jobs, and we have things that get in the way of life, okay? And I call it when there are a lot of companies out there that actually will give you a 30-day period or a 60-day period or a 90-day period. If you don't do something in that 90-day period, then you're going to go down in a career rank or you'll demote or something. I call that, and I really hate that. I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but it was the case with me and my previous company and many team members, many leaders on my team. I kind of call that like a shoot you while you're down kind of a compensation plan. And Park Lane does not have that. They believe that people need time. They believe that we all want to be doing more, but if life is happening and you can't be doing, my sister went through breast cancer when we were at our previous company, and she had this ungodly amount of personal sales each month that she had to meet in order to not lose things in terms of compensation. And when I look back, I'm like, why was I not more angry about that? So Park Lane is very different in this regard too. And it brings true flexibility so that you can actually just go and love the business and go and share it, genuinely share how much love you have for it. That real big difference right there has also allowed, my daughter has heard a lot about these things too. And so a lot of the things that I've learned through this business, and I know that a lot of our team members have learned through partnering with a company like Park Lane, is that their kids get to hear this kind of stuff. I always say that I'm the completely different mother because of my business, but I'm even a completely different mother because of being with Park Lane. And one of the things that I love that my daughter gets to be a part of are the trips. Oh my gosh, TRIPS with capital letters, okay? This is a big difference with Park Lane, and Park Lane goes on these incredible trips. I know a lot of companies do trips. Park Lane's trips, they do two. This is very, very, very big, a very big part of the culture. They go on 2 international trips a year. 2 international. I mean, with my friends here, I sort of sometimes now get a little self-conscious because of the places that we have been just in the last 4 years. I'm like, I get to travel a lot. They're like, yeah, y'all travel a lot, don't you? I'm like, yes, we do. With Park Lane, it's paid for. So my daughter has been able to go on a lot of these trips too. And that's one thing that's really unique and different because they allow you to bring someone or bring your family with you. We've been to Rome. My daughter got to go to Rome, which is kind of crazy. We actually had decided very impromptu when she was 8 years old to go to Italy for Thanksgiving. I found these ridiculously inexpensive tickets, like $250 a piece. So I was like, we're getting the heck out of Dodge and going to Europe. I don't know. It was a great idea. It was very impromptu. We all weren't allowed to take more than just carry-on luggage. Anyway, it was a fun trip. That was when she was 8. Fast forward 2 years later, I had joined Park Lane. I had earned a trip, and Rome was the trip. Ridiculously, excessively, she got to go to Italy 2 times in an 18-month period because of Park Lane. We've been to Kona as a family, Kona, Hawaii as a family. We also got to go to Paris, France as a family. Those are the trips that she's been able to go on. My husband and I have been to Aruba. We have been to Cabo with Park Lane. We have been to Key West. That was fun. I actually never been there. That is so fun. With Park Lane. Our team members just got back from St. Thomas. Okay. 2 weeks ago, basically 3 weeks ago. We're going to Zurich in August. I'm like, oh my God, I go to Zurich literally the week before school starts. I mean, she doesn't get to go on that because of dance, but she's super sad about it. And it's not because of Park Lane. She doesn't get to go, but you're right. Jatanda. Yes. Oh my gosh. How amazing would that be? It is a reality because of these Park Lane. It is very much in part of the culture. They want you and your families to see the world with people that you love. That's essentially what they want. And so that's very, very, very different. Okay. So I've talked a lot about I'm kind of all over the board with my agenda, but I've talked a lot about what sets Park Lane apart and what's very, very different. I want to share one more thing that's very different and then we'll wrap this up. One thing that is very, very different about Park Lane is this program called the Direct to Point program. So y'all put a 2 in the comments, okay? Put a 2 in the comments if you have done something like this before, if you have direct sales experience, okay? Put a 3 in the comments if you have direct sales experience and you also had a team. Like you had a team, whether it was 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 people on your team, okay? Park Lane has, first of all, if you've had direct sales experience before and you start with Park Lane, you're just going to get started faster because this isn't your first rodeo. That's what I want to say. I've seen it happen 1,000 times. Love, love, love that. I got started 10 times faster because it was my second time to start. I did so many things at the beginning that I didn't even know at the beginning of my previous company. So it got up and going faster. But the second thing I want to say is if you have leadership experience, if you had a team, okay, you might qualify for this very, very special program that Park Lane has called the Direct Appoint program. And this is essentially what it is. Park Lane recognizes those in the direct sales network marketing industry that have leadership experience. They've had a team, they've led a team, okay? And leadership positions are available. It's a little bit of an interview process, but they offer leadership positions to sometimes people who have had teams in the past. And so, for example, I came on, okay, I had a team in my previous company. We talked about what the team looked like. We talked about what kinds of things I did as a leader. We talked about what type of volume my team was bringing in, what the team members looked like, meaning like, not what they looked like. Don't put words in my mouth. What the team structures looked like. We talked about different things, okay? And I was offered a leadership position with Park Lane. So many times people they come in higher level than entry level. They come in earning higher than 30% as a brand new stylist. And it's because they offer a leadership position to people that have leadership experience. They know that that's valuable. They know you're going to grow. If you've grown before, you're likely going to grow faster at Park Lane because it's not your first rodeo of building a team and not even building a team, just sharing what a gift this is. We know that you're going to see it and you're going to be like, oh my gosh. And so there's no strings attached to it. They let you make the decision as to what you would like to build and how much you would like to build. But they have a lot of faith in the fact that you will get started and you will be like, wow, if only I had known about this sooner. And so that is very, very different. And so if you are intrigued about this, you need to get in touch with your stylist that invited you to this and let her know, listen, I had a business before. I had a team before. I'm curious about this. Is this something that I might qualify for? Okay. It's not always the case. Okay. But it is an opportunity. It's something that's out there that is very rare about Park Lane. Okay. So let's see, we talked about trips. We talked about the extra $100 sign-on bonus. I'll talk about that again. I talk about the starter kits. Talk about the comp plan. I'll talk about the guarantee. Okay, let's talk now. Like if you're like, okay, well, after listening to this, I'm now kind of curious. I kind of like the vibe of this team. This woman seems nice. She seems normal. Just kidding. But there are, if you have listened tonight and you've been a part of this week and you're like, okay, I think I actually want to give this a try. I cannot tell you what better of a time it is to actually test drive this. Just test drive it. It's Mother's Day coming up. There are graduation gifts to be purchased. All the reasons of why we did this show. Everyone is gifting. It is all the people that you know are gifting, and it is a time to try this out. I started on October 31st. I did like 3 shows before Christmas, and it was like perfect because almost everybody was shopping. Okay. Not everybody I knew was celebrating Christmas, but a lot of people were shopping, just like right now. A lot of people are shopping for gifts. So it's a great time to try something like this. Be the person that your friends shop for some of these gifts for versus they're going to be going somewhere and shopping. There are 3 different kits to actually start with. The first is $129, like I mentioned, and you get $500 in free jewelry. Okay. The second one is $229 in free $229 and you get $1,000 in free jewelry. And there's a third kit. I think it's $439 and you get $2,000 in free jewelry. Here's the deal. Right now, ends on Wednesday. Ends on Wednesday in 2 days. Today's Monday, ends on Wednesday. You can get an additional $100 in free jewelry in your kit. That is the special that ends on Wednesday, and it is going away. Okay? So if you're intrigued, be like I was on Halloween 17 years ago and just be like, wait, what? There's a promo? Okay. Like, why not? Okay? It's really a why not kind of thing. You're going to get a lot of free jewelry. You try a couple shows. You either decide if you like this or not. You have someone that's there to help you. We have systems in place that you can follow. We have training. We have amazing, like basically roadmaps for you to get started. You can go at your pace. We definitely have a success plan that we share with you of how we recommend getting started. And it is honestly what I hear from those that have been in this business with other companies and other teams is that they have never seen the type of support that they get on our team. And so I just always like to share that. Again, not to impress or brag, but I really take a lot of pride in that on our team, people feel like they have so many resources and tons of support. So be that person that's like, you know what? Why not? Because that's what I hear a lot of people say. They say, I wish I would have started sooner. And then those that just like make the decision, they're like, I don't know, I just kind of figured, why not? I'll tell you a little story. So my daughter, one of her best friends, applied for this fashion. My daughter is 16, so she's going to be a junior next year. We're getting to the end of her sophomore year. And one of her best friends applied for some like fashion, like 2-week camp type deal up in New York City. New York City, okay? We're down here in Texas. And she got accepted. And I was talking to her name is Saxton. I was like, Saxton, I'm so proud of you. So she applied for it, and like didn't tell her parents she was going to do it. Then she got accepted. Okay. And so I was like, I'm so proud of you. Like, what led you to do that? She goes, I don't know. I just kind of figured, why not? And I told her, I said, Saxton, if you can keep that attitude, you're only 16 years old. She's actually not even 16 yet. You're 15. If you can keep that attitude throughout the rest of your life, you will achieve amazing things, huge things. You will have a very full life if you can keep that attitude of just why not, okay? So I love that, and I encourage you to be a why not girl, okay? Be a why not girl, because why not? This special ends on Wednesday, okay? Let me see my notes. Like I said, it's very simple to start. Yeah, the bonus we talked about. Okay, I think I've basically covered all of it. So what we do at the end of our free impression night is I give you a code word, and then Kimberly, you are welcome to post this. Please post the survey link. Thank you, Kimberly. And don't worry, we'll do a post after this video with the survey link as well. But the code word tonight is going to be, guess what it is? Why not? The code word is why not. So fill out the survey, tell us a little bit about you, and then the code word is why not. And you will have through tonight to get the survey to fill out the survey. We will announce the winner tomorrow. So we definitely wanted you to stay to the end so you could get the code word. And so thank you so much for joining tonight. I hope that you heard something tonight that maybe if it inspired you to start a Park Lane business, then wonderful. Like, I hope I'm saying welcome to the team. If it inspired you to take action in another part of your life because you're like, you know what, these people kind of seem to be uplifting, then I still consider my job done. I'm so grateful and happy and thankful that you were here tonight. And it was my honor to be able to share Free Impression Night with you tonight. Again, fill out the survey, put the code word in there. I'll post it after this, but I know Kimberly is putting it in the comments. I'm assuming I can't see comments on my phone, but I'm sure she's putting it in the comments here. And code word is why not. Again, if you decide to jump on board with us, you guys, extra $100 special ends on Wednesday. Do not miss out on that. All right. See you guys later. Y'all have a great night. Thanks again.